GM, no countdown today. No countdown today. No time for that. No time for that. It is Friday. And you know what today is? Today is a victory Friday. Today's a victory Friday. We don't have too many victory Fridays, I have to say. What a day. What a day for the Skat Bros. They called us crazy. They said that, this guy's not that good. It's all hype. And then tonight, for the second time, America fell in love with Cam Skat. What a day. He looked great out there. Felt like he did exactly what we thought he would do. He got stronger as the game went on. If you just watch the first couple quarters, he was, getting 3-4 yards a carry. Nothing crazy. Got the goal line touchdown. But by the end, he was the hammer. And the defense was tired of tackling him. And you cannot blame them. So big day for the Skat Bros. I have up here something I think is pretty funny. Let me roll through chat. Huge ups to Patrick Donovan for BBMDB. They added Badge Bros Brawl, which is awesome because it's actually my favorite contest, and not just because we are currently advancing 68 out of 120 teams. Now, this is going to go down. Because if you will check the chart here. We have 107 Skat teams out of my 150. So obviously, getting 30 dog app points is going to skew the advance rate before most other people in the pod have had a chance to start their week. But anyway, love the Badge Bros Brawl. We made that the contest where we went all in Skat, 89% Skat, equating to 109 shares there. But anyway, just kind of funny to see a 56% advance rate. I feel like gritty, and I can lie, it feels kind of nice. Go Easy Cards remind, however, our excitement must be tempered with some reality. And Go Easy Cards says, remember when you passed Skat multiple times in PTP drafts 24 hours ago? You know what? I actually this morning wanted to listen back to my PTP teams, and I heard myself being like, oh, I don't know if I would take Skat over Worthy this week. Not great. That's been immortalized there. I would have taken Skat instead of Worthy. So I do have I didn't do a ton of PTPs. We'll check I'm not going to win anything. I did one of the main PTPs, and it does have Dart. It has Skat, but unfortunately it was a Theo Johnson team. He had 3.7, and I think, what did Goddard end up with? Yeah, 21. So it's unfortunate. We didn't end up with Goddard on this team. It's certainly live to cash, but it's not going to make any noise with just how much Goddard separated there. Dart was free, and I think he outscored Hurts there. So this looks like a good team. If somehow we had gotten Goddard on there, this would be I would feel like, hey, maybe we can do something, but we can't. And then over in the primetime hurry up, the team I was mentioning, I think, was this team where I went Goff, Gibbs, AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson, JMO, and I do have Dallas Goedert on this team. So obviously, if we had Skat over AJ Brown, that would be nice. But again, we simply do not. We did not play it well. I got, of my 4 hurry up teams, I have Skat in 3 of them, but I don't have the right combinations. I don't have Goddard, which again, I think you're going to need this one. I have Skat, but I also have Saquon on it. So even if Mason Taylor nuts out, we got to think that 7.7 is going to do us in from Saquon there. Yeah. Well, Go Easy Cards is here to keep us grounded. I had the audacity to call his teams interesting, and then he qualified for the dog bowl in my face. And now he's reminding me of my primetime Palooza failings. GM to you, Chris. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Chris had another pick'em with bonus underdog cash. This is the, everyone thinks it's easy to do things on site credit, but Chris Burkle is about to find out that site credit's not as easy as it sounds. Jake, GM to you. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, Chris, who needs a countdown? Well, I feel like watching it back, I don't know. People probably don't love the countdowns, but No countdown today. No countdown today. We hopped right in. Chris Burkle, New Jersey, got no bonuses on Underdog, asking the questions of how they work. GM, surprised we didn't get the Skat jersey. Well, yeah, I mean, I wore it yesterday. I'm wearing a blue shirt, so it's kind of like Giants adjacent. I mean, I did not get this shirt for the New York footballing Giants, but you know, I didn't want to go too crazy. I have two Scatabo jerseys. I have an ASU one, and I have the Giants one. And my biggest regret was not getting the ASU jersey from the bookstore, because it's the Adidas one with the Big Ten logo. I have the NIL jersey, which doesn't have the Big Ten logo, so it honestly looks fake. Like, I think a fake jersey would look more real. It just says like Arizona State and has his name and number, and that's like it. So I don't really like it. I've actually been trying to get a real ASU jersey, but they're like harder to come by than you'd think, like a Scatabo one. So anyway, I've been trying to source that, but I don't want to order the ones that are like on eBay that are very clearly not real. So anyway, these are, Scatabo problems. Chris says you can use it whatever you like, but I suck at DFS, so it's better to run up with pick'ems. I'm the opposite. I am dreadful in the pick'em streets. Shout out to Scatabo. Hey Tim, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. That is Dominant. Yeah, he's carrying us through the Badge Bros brawls. Man, I need to adopt that strat next year. Just be contest specific. Wild stands clearly not that wild. Well, you know what, Greg, that was what I said I was going to do that. And I'm really glad I did it in that one contest, because I think it is kind of fun and it keeps it fresh. Like, I literally just told myself I'm going to take Scatabo in every single draft in that room, no matter what. And there were 11 instances where someone just took him ahead of me. And it wasn't like taking him at the 101. I was taking him in the last couple rounds. So it makes it fun. And I think you could do the same thing with puppies, with side contests. Like, and I'm not saying just take a player every time, but just like say like, okay, in the flock 4 in this 3 max, I'm going to do all 0 RB, or I'm going to do all, whatever strategy, and just use that to experiment. And so you can be kind of like methodical, maybe in the puppy 2, say like, I'm just going to go 0 RB. I'm not going to take an RB in the first 5 or 6 rounds. And maybe you don't win a single puppy 2, but maybe that works. I don't know. I think it's hard over the summer, especially if you do volume, like a lot of us do, and you're doing 1,000 drafts, like to think of some of these tournaments as ways to like kind of experiment, or even just like blow off steam, like, because it's so hard to just like lock in and grind and try to like, extract every ounce of value when you're doing that much. So anyway, that's what I did in the Badge Bros brawl. So obviously it's working right now. If something happens to Scatabo, he gets hurt, then I'm going to lose everything in the Badge Bros brawl. And I just have to accept that. But that's where we're at. Hey, GM Steven, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out with you. Sad thing is week 14, go AC Cards. I'm so glad Scatabo is not playing week 14. Because I just don't want to have to make the decision. Because like, I know I would take him ahead of ADP, and if I didn't take him, and then he did go off, and I would have it's just would open. I'm just not mentally strong enough. Like I'm just glad he's not on the slate for the dog bowl, so I can just like, I don't have to have it. I'm very heavily levered to Cam Scatabo as it is. I mean, unfortunately the DraftKings exposures like don't work, but I am even more overweight on DraftKings there than I am here. Let me pull up my again, this is a transparency show, right? Like I don't hide things from you. You see the good, the bad, the ugly here. So like Cam Scatabo, 797 post-draft teams, 39.5% Scatabo. This is a little skewed if I switch, because this includes Badge Bros brawls. If I take out Badge Bros brawl, we're at 30%, which is still really high. And then let me just make sure we're not including the auto-drafted $1 teams, because those were off of ranks, and I don't want those to count. There might have been a better way to do this. Okay, so that actually boosted even higher, 33% in drafts where I was like intentionally clicking on stuff. And then the very next pick is one of the worst picks on the board with Jamison Williams. So, it's like a nice yin and yang, the good and the bad here. It's very high on JMO. At least the good news to JMO is he's not like hurt. He's just been bad, uninvolved. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not happy I have 24% Jameson Williams, but he's absolutely live to like hit spike weeks when we need him. Things could turn around. They have not played their week 6 game, so I'm leaving the light on for JMO. But obviously right now that looks like a bad pick, and if the season ended now, it would be one of the worst non-injury picks you could make. But we're not panicking yet. So Brenton Strange going on IR, that sucks. That sucks. We have a lot of Brenton Strange. If we look at the tight ends, a little bit of a mixed bag. Juwan Johnson might be trending the wrong way with Moreau and Taysom coming in, but Tucker Craft. I was pretty flat in tight end, but obviously Strange going on IR again. That's a bad. That's kind of a bad run out. Chris saying, is Russell Wilson or that Heisman winner who is on the 3rd string on the trade block? Are there any buyers for backup quarterbacks? I mean, I think we all were hoping that Jameis would go to the Bengals, but that didn't. But that didn't occur. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure they'd be willing to move one of them. Scatta boys mount up, says the Gale. 100%. Chris asking, did I download my DKCSB to Best Ball Explorer? So no, I didn't, and that was probably a mistake because I don't know if you can still do it because it's so jacked up. If you look now, how much more do we actually need from Juwan for? Oh no, he paid his tab. I mean, he showed up, he paid his tab, he bought like he bought the group drinks. I can't complain, but he's I don't know how much more. I don't know how much more we can reasonably expect. Obviously, we all want more, but it's pretty close to paying off. Yeah, no, he's been great. He's been great. All right, let's see what a DBQ is at. It was at like 6 when I started this. All right, we'll start the stream with this. We'll start with the dog bowl. So let's do that DBQ. Let me see. All right, dog bowl waiting for one. We'll see if we can't get anybody in here. Got to do a couple things. I got to get the time stamps going. 00 intro and chat and scat chat. Sure. And then what time is it? We're at 12 minutes and let's say 50 seconds. DBQ 1. All right, and we're off. And let's see what spot we got. Let's see what spot. Oh yes, we are in the 3-hole. That is awesome. That's in the 3-hole. This is an interesting room. I don't recognize a lot of names in here. I know I've drafted with Aho Daniel before, but I don't remember where I know that name. I see Cutler in here. I don't see a lot of the regulars. But you know what? We're going to do our best. We're not going to do too many more dog bowls after this. We've done, how many have we done? 25. I don't really want to go above 30. I told myself I was going to do 20 to 25, and we've obviously gone past that. I want to still do these on stream. I think people like the dog bowls, so I want to make sure we continue doing that. But I wanted to pare it down a little. That said, I really do like the slate. I think it's really fun, so I've been doing it, but I probably, again, next week will try to be a little better about that. Hey, Jordan, GM from the 2-hole. All right, Baby J. Gosh darn it, Jordan. I always forget your name. So Baby J's in at the 2. Good to see you in here, Jordan. Good luck to you. And yes, Chris, Wandale. Wandale is, I wish a lot of my Slayton shares were Wandale shares. I'll say that because Slayton was one of my favorite round clicks, and I think I have like 3% Wandale. I'm just going to take Jonathan Taylor. We will go with the market. I have thought about maybe like a truth serum-y take that Josh Jacobs could be like the one, but that matchup with Arizona, I honestly, Brissett might be an upgrade from Kyler if Brissett goes. So I don't know, but Jonathan Taylor is pretty hard to fade, or to pass over when he's at the top of the board. So we'll make this a Jonathan Taylor team, and then see what the room brings to us on the wraparound. Chris has 25 Wandale shares in BBM for me. Hey Chris, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. That's a lot. That is way more than I have. What am I at? I'm like almost afraid to look because I think it's like 3. Yeah, I have 5 Wandale shares. That doesn't feel great. I have 5 Wandale shares and 18 Slayton shares. Not so hot. My late round clicks, I was taking a ton of Slayton. I was taking a ton of Diami Brown. Neither of those are fantastic. Are fantastic. They're not dead, at least. I mean, Slayton, I think Slayton should be back. I don't think this was like a long-term injury, but yeah, they paid him well enough to where I don't think he's going to lose his job to little Jordan Humphrey. But that said, it would have been, last night would have been a great game to have him out there. That really would have been a good opportunity. But RM Covers, GM. Hey, RM Covers, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Appreciate you swinging by this morning, Chris. See, Chris, we're like a beautiful yin and yang. Your 25 Wandale shares and 2 Slayton shares, with my 18 Slayton shares and 5 Wandale shares. We're the inverse, and unfortunately, that this time you got the better of that. Jordan, my last eliminator team has Wandale and Goddard. Last night was a great start. That's awesome, Jordan. My last eliminator team has Scatabo. My opponent had no one going, so it is nice for Scatabo to put up a 30 burger to start things off. Weirdly enough, I only did one big elim team, and it doesn't have Scatabo on it. But only one team in the pod did, so hopefully we survived that. But it's I wish both had him on it, because it feels a little bit like a ball rolling down the hill at this point. I don't know who they're playing next week, but at least they kind of have the mini bye. Giants, who are they playing? Well, they're playing the Broncos next week. That's weird. They play the Broncos and then they play the Eagles again. It's kind of a weird scheduling quirk to play the Eagles twice in 2 weeks. Kind of strange, but I guess that's good. They'll be done with the Eagles. I think normally that's a tougher matchup. I think losing Carter in the middle of the field definitely impacts the things. Chris says, Jordan, congrats on advancing in a limb. Jordan says, lots of football left, but things are looking good. Greg says, Chris, I have 11 Scatabo shares just under market. I mean, some people have 0, and that's got to feel a little bit uncomfortable with what we saw yesterday, and the usage, and being the goal line back, and being clearly Daboll's favored. I actually can't say favored child, because he loves Jackson Dart. So, but clearly in the Daboll family. All right, so we got Jonathan Taylor here. We could potentially get McBride and game stack it. We could take receiver here. Let's see what Aho Daniel does. I mean, if we take Warren, then we're just making a massive bet on the Colts, which I don't hate. Warren goes. I'm pretty agnostic as to these tight ends. I think I'm good with any of them. So I'm going to take... I think I'm going to keep taking Ladd over QJ. This just to me feels very Ladd-coded week. I don't know why. This could be way wrong. But I'm going to take Ladd, and then I will take whoever comes back between McBride, Fergie, and Kraft. I have 2 people drafting after me. If somebody goes double tight end, then I'll just take Herbert, and we'll do a Herbert Ladd stack is how I think I'm going to play it, but I might still take Herbert anyway. I'm kind of a couple minds here, so just figuring out what I want to do here. I'm not sure if Brissett might even be better for McBride because Kyler sure as heck isn't getting that job done. But, it could be a little Galaxy brain. I think in my heart of hearts, I preferred Fergie there. Kind of funny. We took Ladd here. If we take McBride here, we got our players at ADP, but just flipped. So we didn't actually get any kind of value if if McBride comes back to us. Etienne goes. I think we're just going to actually take Herbert here. I'm still torn. Sorry. This is scintillating stuff here. No, let's just do McBride. Let's take a McBride share. It's okay. If we don't get Herbert, that's fine. We'll figure something else out. But we will do the mini game stack here. I think I have a fair amount of Herbert already, and I do like some of these elite tight ends. If being on the left side of the board, sometimes it's a little harder to push the tight ends. There's a few guys I like late, but all it takes is one of these guys to like them, and then I'm kind of scrambling in that really deep scroll range. So we'll take McBride on that team. I don't know. I don't know what people think. I don't know how people would have played that. But again, we literally just got them at their exact ADPs, but in the inverse here. All right, let's see. Let's catch back up. Jake says, my last Eliminator team has Neighbors and my opponent has Wandale. That is a bad run out, Mr. Vinegar. I apologize. That stinks. Greg says, I advanced 4 second quarter teams, somehow dodged Skat, Wandale, and Goddard in every pod. Oh my God. That's that is surprising there. RM covers, my Skat fade doesn't feel good. At least looks like a beast. Yeah, there's a lot of people. I feel bad. I feel bad because the hamstring, if you were on the fence about Scatabo, then the hamstring injury really gave you reason to just fade him. It was and it did look grim. He wasn't playing. He's a rookie. He injured his hamstring at before the combine, and then he re-injured it in training camp, and Tracy didn't look bad last year. So there were reasons for doubt. I'm not going to sit here and tell you you were stupid for fading Scatabo. Obviously I was a huge Scatabo bull and was happy to make the bull case, but I saw the bear case. I don't think you're, I do feel like a lot of things did lend itself to the bear case, but I just, for me, it was just seeing what he did in college and thinking that it was actually going to translate. And I was generally a little lower on Tracy, but there were good people on both sides, but the fade right now is not looking great. Chris, I have way too much Tyrone Tracy. I'm an idiot who tried to split the baby with a Jag versus a rookie who plays hard. I'm telling you, it was, going back in time, and now it's obvious. Now it is obvious, but I remember I was in the trenches. At least you split. Oh yeah. Tiger Uppercut GM. Hey, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out with us. Yeah, and you never know what happens. The only reason I don't have 100% of him is because, people can get injured and then you just lose the season. We saw this happen with Rashee Rice. The Rashee Rice people last year were 100% correct, and then his knee, got torpedoed by Mahomes. What are you going to do? You can't predict that. So if you're all in on a guy, you're just absorbing so many layers of risk, and the injury risk is the one that you just, no matter how good your player take is, if the guy gets hurt, you're cooked. So, all right, let's see what the room wants to give to us. My goodness, if I have seen Herbert get back to the Ladd drafter on this side of the board, but people do take him unstacked so often. I am not going to assume we get that. Warren back to full practice. I think he got some good coach speak, so that's a little intriguing. Although the matchup is not my favorite. I think Chase Brown. If we didn't take Jacobs, Chase Brown becomes a little interesting. The inverse of that. I think with Flacco, he'll be a little bit better there. Oh, Kobe Goat, you stink. You stink out loud. I mean, I don't blame him. People unstack QB. It is now become endemic here, and so we cannot expect to get our guys. But that would have been a nice value there. I would have been really thrilled to get Herbert coming back. But that is the one fear, is you do see if I took Herbert with where I took McBride, we have seen the wraparound happen. Do we go back to Jacoby Myers? Do we just do it? I mean, he's going to project. I think we do it. I think we go Jacoby Myers. Let's do it. He got us a dog bowl seat last week. Let's try to get another. We're going Jacoby Myers, and we'll do it again. We're the goofy meme, and I'll do it again. We'll go back to the well. We'll see what happens. As far as quarterbacks go, we're now in like unstacked QB land, and it's a little bit sketchy. We could get Geno. Obviously, he's out there. We see our friend Baby J here. He takes Jaylen Warren. So I like that pick. Let's see what Tim Long. He takes Tony Pollard. Huh. So now we're back in the. I was almost hoping they'd take one of Chase Brown or Ramondre. I mean, I kind of like Ramondre against New Orleans. I do think he's going to be annoyingly involved with Gibson out for the season, with Travion and them not really trusting him that much. I just don't know if passing on Chase Brown with Flacco might seem a little silly at the end of the day. Or if taking the running back against the team we're all really high on. Or I could take a wide receiver here. I think I'm going to take Chase Brown. Jacoby Oscar Myers. Yeah, that's where we're at there. Terrence asking, what about wide receiver 3 Bourne? I don't hate that. Jennings might be back, which could make it a little murky. I think if Jennings is back, Bourne might suffer quite a bit. That said, Mac Jones obviously has a good rapport with Bourne, so we will see. The Shanahan system is capable of getting a receiver, a lot of production, and that has been Jennings when healthy, and then it was Bourne when Jennings was not healthy. I think there's a little bit of uncertainty. I'm willing to absorb the uncertainty and do that. But that said, I do feel like the Flacco thing might inject a little life into Cincy. So I will take the shot. There. I mean, Flacco was not good, but I think you give Flacco Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and suddenly maybe Flacco starts looking a little bit better. And by extension, things open up a little for Chase Brown. But if it doesn't start turning around quick, then I think Chase Brown bags are literally like subprime loans. Okay, so we have 7 quarterbacks already drafted. 2 people are going to take quarterbacks ahead of me. Let's see who we want. So we will get one of T-Law, Bryce Young, Mac Jones. Geno obviously is a stack with Jacoby. I think Purdy is now on the very doubtful side of questionable here. Yeah, he didn't practice again. I think the reports have come out saying he's probably not playing. Lamar Jackson, he still has a Q tag. He missed practice yesterday. I do not think he's going to be coming in. Kyler is, heading the wrong way. So could I take one of these guys as a Q tag? sure that I think I might want to pick the quarterback that I get. So we'll stay tuned for our options here. I also split the baby between Ramondre and Travion. Ramondre is a Jag. Not sure Travion plays hard yet since he's not on the field. Chris, yeah. The issue is Travion has had ample opportunity to take over and he hasn't, which makes we're starting to get into the territory of like maybe Travion is not that great. Like that's my fear. And we all saw him in we steamed him up like 20 picks of ADP and BBM because of preseason tape, not because of anything else. And so I'm just I'm getting a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie about my Travion stuff. What did I just press? Oh God. Hold on. Dear God. I can't click. This is a nightmare. Why is my Hold on. Jeez Louise. I exited the draft and now my screen resized. And I can't click on anything. Okay. Well, I don't know why my computer decided I needed the my taskbar up permanently. All right, so we got T-Law, Bryce Young goes. I don't mind Mac Jones. I don't know if it's just better to buy the Geno thing. We'll do a Geno skinny with Jacoby Myers. Maybe we just do that. This is a little capitulating, but we'll say better days are ahead for Geno. So we'll go Geno, Jonathan Taylor, Chase Brown, Lad McConkey, Jacoby Myers, and Trey McBride. So we will do that. Oh my gosh, what is going on? I am hitting the wrong button all over the darn place. Well, all right. I'm going to try to fix that later. All right. Chris says, sometimes guys who got by on athleticism are not very bright, so the playbook is a real thing. Tieran says, I don't think Travion knows the playbook. That's the issue. He's good. Oh, well, I mean, that just feels, he's been there all summer. Like, it's a little concerning if he doesn't know the playbook at this point. So I don't know. That or it's like the most complicated playbook ever. So let's check in on our friends here. I really need to fix what I did with my okay. Well, I have no idea what I did with my taskbar, but it is super tilting here. But I'll try to fix that later. All right. So it looks like our friend Baby J, he goes Puka, Kraft, Etienne, Warren, Zay Flowers, and Aaron Rodgers. Interesting way to play it. I like it. The Warren to Rodgers. Before Warren's injury, it did seem like he was trending the right direction with the dump offs. Warren, I think he had like 80 receiving yards one game. So I don't mind that there. I don't mind that at all. Hold on one second. Okay. Thank God. I think I fixed my woes here. All right. All right, well, that was a fun draft. Apologies for the technical difficulties. You guys couldn't see it, but my screen was freaking out on my end. Jordan says not knowing the playbook might mean he's bad. Yeah. I mean, Scatabo can figure out the playbook. How hard could these playbooks truly be? I mean, let's be real. Cheeran says, well, it's probably Tom Brady's old playbook. So yes, it's complicated. Yeah. Chris says, I need George Kittle to return. Yeah. I would love to have George Kittle back. I did a lot of 2 tight end teams with George Kittle on them, and they could all really use him. Well, I mean, I don't know, Terrence. If you can't learn the playbook, that's going to be really tough to stay on the field. Brady's 5 years removed from the org, and the OCs make the playbooks. Well, teams can be lazy. If you've ever experienced corporate culture, sometimes you look at like the desk manual, and you open it, and it's like a copy of a copy of a copy, and it's like, like this screenshot's from DOS. Like what is this? So you never know. Sometimes things have a tendency to stick around. But let's hop into a regular old battle royale. Let me get the timestamps. We're waiting for one. If anyone wants to hop on in, we are at 3450 BR1. Sweet. Well, appreciate you all. Jordan, appreciate you drafting. I like the team that you constructed. Best of luck. Best of luck trying to qualify. I certainly hope you get there. It'd be cool if you got in on one of these here stream drafts. And with that, we're in the 4-hole. We are in the 4-hole. And we will probably take Josh Jacobs. Here. Chris saying, let's not bag on DOS. I used to use that well. But I'm 52. Well, I mean, it was all we had back in the day. It was all we had growing up. These kids will never know how to use a command prompt, but it's okay. I guess that's what they call progress, Chris. I guess that's what they call progress. Jordan, thanks, Chad. Hey, Jordan, no, thank you. Appreciate you all drafting. It is so much fun to do these with you all, and just see what the people in the streets are up to. All right, let's see. We're coming up. Where's the timer? Oh, all right, there we go. We've got 2 no badgers in the room. And again, I feel like the no badgers are fewer and fewer, especially with pick'ems. You get badges from pick'ems. The badges start to lose all meaning, but this does mean these are fairly new players on the site. Tieran says, a guy underproduces for 5 games and people forget 3 years of production. Funny game. Is it? I mean, this is a very, very, what have you done for me lately? I suppose that's why there's a market. Exactly right. So we see Dak Prescott go at the 101. We are now in, we get CMC at the 4. Okay. All right. Well, now with this draft, I'm going to probably stick close to ADP and try to get some what they call unique combos, but we'll see. A little weird to get CMC at the 4. I've seen him go at the 3. If this guy goes Dak at the 1 and then plays the draft straight up, we're fine. But if we see Turpin go next, then we're looking in tossed territory. So if this was the National Weather Service, we have a toss warning. A toss watch in effect, and that might get upgraded to a warning, but we'll see if it's lifted after his next pick. Tyler, aka Emo Cowboy, one of the best in the business. Howdy, hey Tyler, thanks so much for coming in. If you all don't sub to Fantasy Sanctuary, first of all, you guys should. It's $1 a month. It's $1 a month on theirs, and they are fantastic. They churn out really good content. I would follow them, and of course the Toxic Tower with Tyler. With Tyler, aka Emo Cowboy, PPR Tyler, and Best Ball Guy. Appointment viewing. It is fantastic. It is fantastic. So we got CMC here. I just like CMC A-Chain. I don't even think is that rare. So at this point, I'm just going to take the guy I like the most, which is probably Genty in this range. You can make an argument for any of them, but I don't think CMC A-Chain, with the way that A-Chain randomly falls, you will be able to get that pairing. So I did not feel the need to go purely by ADP. It would have been one thing if JSN had come to us. That I think is going to be hard to get, because JSN's, I think his ADP is he the guy at 5.4, but that would have been kind of cool. We didn't get it. That's okay. Chris says, I think Underdog should add a badge for those with 5K drafts as well. I wish they did more of them. I think it would be kind of fun, but so he takes Diggs, and let's see what this drafter does. We all watch with bated breath what TP69 does. We can only assume he tried TP 1 through 68 before settling on the untaken 69. He uses his whole clock to take Taysom Hill. I think we're now in a toss warning. All right, A-Chain is still here. All right, this draft is probably going to get tossed because this is going to be really free. Oh, I can't take A-Chain because I already have 2 running backs. Oh, I was so excited. I was like, no one's going to have A-Chain, Genty, and CMC. Well, that's because you idiot. You can't do that. We'll take Adams. I'm all for people being able to build their own, build your own bear, as the expression goes. But I think we're starting to get a little sketchy here. Taysom's not an unreasonable click, so we'll keep an eye. We'll keep an eye. So we'll do a CMC, Genty, McBride goes. Man, is there good? Is there ever good running back value in this room? We'll take Fergie Ferg. So we got Genty, Adams. Genty, CMC, Ferguson, and Devontae Adams on this team. Mike Robb says, please, God, no, in the 5K draft, trying to explain it to family and friends if they notice. Yeah. I think my wife now knows better than to ask how many of these I do. She once asked last year, she's like, oh, how many do you, like 50? I was like, a little more than that. A little more than 50. This one's gone. And then Steven says these guys pick players in the wrong order. I think it's going to depend. Is it like a coherent team? Like now he takes Judkins. I feel like my issue is you should be able to let somebody make a Dak, Diggs, Taysom, Judkins, and assuming he doesn't take, again, like a UDFA here, that I don't think you should toss it for people wanting to construct a team that doesn't project great, right? Like I think you should be allowed to do that. Like all of these players are reasonable clicks. They're just going in a weird order. So let's see who he takes. Tucker, gosh, he's towing the line, man. But like, who am I to judge if somebody goes double elite tight end? Like, I don't know. I think I'd take Herbert here. I'm going to take Herbert here, and then I will take one of Lad or QJ, depending on what the room gives to us, and we'll see if this draft gets tossed or not. This is a really, to me, an edge case. Some people might look at this and say this should absolutely get tossed. I am of the view that you should be allowed to make mistakes. Like, people should be able to do what they want and draft how they want, unless they're allowing, the integrity bros. I don't know. This one's tough. All right, we just did the lad over on the DBQ. We're gonna live our truth. I do like Lad over QJ this week, so we'll take Lad on this team. So we got Herbert, CMC, Genty, Adams, Lad, and Ferguson. We'll see how TP ends the team. Very interesting to me. I see both sides of the debate, but like, people should be allowed to make mistakes, but not at the cost of like the contest being unfair. So anyway, hey, Steve Schaup, how's it going? Hey, it's going good, my man. It is going good. Steve over on the Fanspeak Network, one of the true ball knowers out there. If you guys don't subscribe to Fanspeak, you absolutely should. Steve puts out such great stuff, has a great Substack. Highly recommend Steve Fanspeak and all of his stuff. But Steve, famously, big Skat bro himself. His sister Meg, the whole Schaup family in on Scatabo. So a good morning for all of us. But Steve, thanks so much for coming by, hanging out. Really appreciate the support. Jake says 5 hole has 3 first-round picks: Jacobs, JSN, and A-Chain. Yeah. I know. If I had gotten JSN and gotten like CMC, like I was literally 1 pick away from JSN, and we could have had CMC, JSN, and A-Chain on a team. And at that point, the integrity bros might have a case. They might have a case there. Mike says problem with picks like the ones gives three player combos that's under 1% threshold they look for. Had a JSN Puka Genty team get thrown out in a lobby like this. Yeah, I agree. Tyrion says that's not a mistake. Chris says Integrity Bros got burned pretty badly by all the naked burrow teams. Yeah, and all the Integrity Bros had a mass extinction event. That was Armageddon for Integrity Bros everywhere. Steve says happy Cam Scatabo Day. It is a beautiful day. A beautiful day in Scatabo Nation. Terrence says, or the drafter is so clueless it's de facto cheating. Yeah. It is a very interesting debate to me. I'm going to hop into another one if anyone wants to get in. We're waiting for 2, and let me do the timestamp, then we'll get back to that. So 45:15 BR2. Thrown out here. I'll put a clickbaity little clickbait in the timestamp. Yeah, good for those. Oh yeah, the Integrity Bros absolutely ruined. What I would love is some like clarity from Underdog in when they throw it out. Like it's I don't like when it feels arbitrary. So I wish there was like a threshold, but then the problem with when you like make hard and fast rules is people like find the ways to skirt them, and then then you can run into problems there. So I kind of like, or the rules throw out drafts that shouldn't be thrown out. So like I do understand if they want to make it like an elephant test and have like maybe some trigger goes off and then somebody looks at the draft and says yay or nay, but like that creates its own problems. There's no really great solution, but it would be nice to have a little like clarity in what they're looking for and what gets thrown out, because like Jake noted, that 5-hole got a god team. Like that is impossible to build in most rooms, and so that is crazy. What is not crazy is taking Puka ahead of Jonathan Taylor. I mean, I see the argument for Puka being the 101. His receiving prop is like 99.5 yards, I think, which is absolutely nuts. I think there's enough good running backs to where we can scroll. So we'll take Puka in this draft. But if you want to take Jonathan Taylor there or Jacobs, I would not argue with you. We're just varying it up. We just did a running back team. Yeah, known rules invites angle shooting. Right. That's the problem. But then again, like when you don't have rules, then things can be arbitrary, and it can just depend on, if they have somebody reviewing the teams and one day they're in a good mood and they let it go, and one day they're in a bad mood and they're throwing everything out, you can run into there is no good solution that can make everybody happy. Chris. It's an unfortunate problem. It's not like they aren't shooting every angle with AI robots. Yeah. Well, we are as you know, we are the John Henry stream here. We're the man versus the machine. We're trying our best to hang on to our last vestiges of humanity before the bots put us all out of not just work but also the things we enjoy. So we got Puka. I don't think I want to go Puka and Kyren or Puka and Javonte. Man, what happened in this room? I feel like normally there's like another running back, but there's not. All right, let's just kind of punt the decision. Let's take Tyler Warren. So we're going to take a elite tight end, and then maybe we scroll down to Uncle Rico Dowdle here, and just skip this entire range of the draft board. Wow, Rashad White even goes. I was hoping to go Dowdle White. What is this room? What is this room here? All right, we do have some friends in the room. We got JT Binniger over on at the right side of the board with JSN and Genty starting off. Hey, the what with the thumbs up. Appreciate you, the what. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Chris says the issue is known rules versus rules that exist on the back end, as they are only known to Underdog insiders. Yep. Steven says, I think you are right, Chris. Go AZ Cards. Should they throw out drafts when someone has almost 90% exposure of one player? Well, if they want to go back and review all the Badge Bros brawls, they will find 90% Cam Scatabo. they will find. I'll be like, gosh, this guy has a problem. This guy has a problem. We should cut him off. But alas, no one cut me off. My only regret was not doing 150 Badge Pro Sprawls, but I do love that contest. It is one of my favorite contests. I have a ton of double elite quarterbacks in that contest, which has been a little bit of a mixed bag with Daniels missing time, and now with Lamar missing time. So that part of the strategy has been hit or miss. But I also went 3 quarterbacks even when I went double elite quarterbacks, so we've stayed afloat through those, and so we're floating through with the 68% advance rate currently. We'll see if that holds up. Man, what, you apes? Nobody wants the tight ends? Like, what's going on here? What is going on? Do I really want Staffy? All right, this is dumb because, all right, I'm doing what you're not supposed to do. I'm taking a quarterback, and this guy already has a quarterback. My issue is I want to scroll for somebody. I just don't know who. So, Zay Flowers actually made sense. So there you go as a bring back. All right. Let's get really gross on this team. Let's take Jacoby Myers here. So we've got Stafford, Dowdle, Puka, Jacoby Myers, and Tyler Warren on this team. This is a kind of a disgusting mess of a team, but it's going to be have combined ownership of about 3 people by the time we're done with this. So let's see what someone who's got a more coherent plan has got. He's got JSN, Genty, Judkins, and Chase. Nice little fall on Jamar Chase here. Let's see what JT Vinegar does as far as QB tight end. Let's see where he takes it. Go easy cards. I kid. Underdog looks for multiple users when drafting together. One always throws one draft. Yeah, I would hope they would look for that too, and they would ban those people. Yeah, Tucker Kraft here, really nice. Really nice to get Tucker Kraft in the 5th round. I feel like that doesn't happen very often. So I no matter who you take at quarterback, JT Vinegar, I like the team you were able to build here. I think you took advantage of what the room presented, especially from the 6th hole, where sometimes it can be a little off. So Drake May. So the unstacked Drake May, I don't really see anything wrong with that. If you don't want to go the Darnold or Love, and Love already went. So if you don't want to go the Darnold direction here, let's take a guy that no one will take, and let's make this a Kendre Miller team. Yes, I see that Derrick Henry is here. Maybe if I am going to take Derrick Henry, this team, it actually does make sense. And I think Jacoby Myers is enough of a scroll to where I think we're going to remain unique. I do want to take some Kendre. Did Kamara go back to practice yesterday? Remains limited. So limited. I imagine he probably still will play. So maybe we'll cool on that a bit. But let's do a Derrick Henry team. I think this team makes sense. Yeah, Chris, I chickened out. But I think if I'm gonna get Henry, I don't want no Henry. In as much as I'm not like a game stack bro, I do feel like for the true Stafford Puka nuke game, Baltimore has to show a little bit of life, and that's probably going to be by way of Derrick Henry. So I'll do that. I don't need Derrick Henry on every Puka Stafford team, but he was there at the end. That's we'll see. If he bounces back, everyone's going to be like, "Oh, it was so obvious it's Derrick Henry," even though no one wants to click him right now. All right, let's see. Tieran says, I think the hinge of the slate is Chase. If Flacco slings it, Higgins or Chase will be the touchdown. Yeah, I like those guys. I think they're. I mean, the issue is Green Bay does have a pretty good defense, and Flacco might be running for his life a lot. But we know Flacco's not going to be afraid to chuck it up. And if you're going to chuck it up to anyone in the NFL, Jamar Chase is probably the best person to check it up to. So, you know, I see the vision. I'm not fading him this week for sure. Chris, how bad will the big dog be against the Rams' excellent run D? I guess my recollection was the Rams' run defense wasn't like an elite unit. No, they are good, aren't they? Their pass defense is the weak part. Well, hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good, Chris. I think, you know what? I need to check the Ravens practice, the Ravens injury report, because I did not look at it yesterday. All right, so yeah, Ronnie Stanley, it was a full practice on Thursday, which I think is a big deal for them. He missed last week, and I can't remember, was he out the week before? I think he was questionable last week and then didn't play. And then the week before, so anyway, I think the Ravens offensive line is getting healthier, so maybe things are going to improve for them. But we will see. We will see. Go AZ Cards. If a drafter drafts players who don't play third string tight end, yes, throw it out. But if you throw out a draft because someone doesn't buy ADP, that's where I'm at. Go AZ Cards. I think you should be allowed to construct the teams you want. You shouldn't be like have to stay within an ADP range. Like you can construct teams using all players past pick 30, and I think the team probably not going to win, but it's going to be a team of players playing football. Like I don't know. No, go AZ Cards. I agree with you 100%, which is why I think it can be like tough, and I would err on the side of not throwing drafts out unless there's like obvious collusion. And why we don't want to force people into playing better. I hope everyone in my rooms doesn't know what they're doing. I'm sure streaming doesn't help my EV, but like, I would rather be in a room with people who like don't know what they're doing than I'm not in developer mode. What are you talking about? All right. Well, now the dog app thinks I'm I don't know what it thinks, but I'm definitely not. I did not sneak into. Okay, I'm not in developer mode. Why are you telling me I'm in developer mode? Usually refreshing fixes that. Let's see. Oh, and it fired. It fired. So I was not expecting it to immediately go off, but it did. Jordan says they call that bub hunting. So we are in the we're in the DBQ2. We're in the DBQ2, and we got the 8 pick, and we're next to Mythology. So yeah, that's gonna be tough. Mythology, one of the sharpest players. I think he had 2 dog bowl seats last year. He had at least one. One of the best drafters on the site. He's at the 7, so we are going to keep an eye on what Mythology does. We've got our friend Jordan here at the 1, so he's rewarded with the 1 hole. We got Go AZ Cards at the 11, and I am also next to Patrick Barnes YouTube. Speaking of bum hunting, as Jordan knows, Patrick Barnes YouTube famously in most of these stream drafts here. So Patrick Barnes YouTube, if you're out there, best of luck to you. In your bum hunts. Jake says the problem is when you take guys with ADP 30 plus in rounds 1 and 2 and then start drafting normal. Yep. Go AZ Cards. You don't have to worry about sniping maths. He only drafts good players. That's what I tell myself. Yeah. Yeah. My normal draft a bunch of not good players. Let's see. All right. We're at let's see, DBQ2. We will do the time stamp. We'll do the timestamp, and let's see what we can see. I think 7. Hold on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Okay, so we will get someone we like here. We'll see who Mythology's into. I feel like I don't have a JSN Dog Bowl team, and that's just because of the way my draft board has fallen. So I wouldn't mind that, but that's going to require a couple picks to value, and we'll see if we get it or not. But we'll see what the room hands to us here. We'll see what the room designs, has in mind for us this particular stream. Casey Pollock. He is a member of the Davis Matic Discord, and again, I just can't remember what his username is in there. See what Mythology does. He takes Javonte. All right, we get Genty. I think I would have taken Genty over Javonte. That's just personal preference. But we will take Genty at ADP and see what happens. So very by the book start to this draft. I think everything's been purely by ADP with the small exception of Puka going at the 1. But again, that's not uncommon. If you like the running back scrolls, he is just head and shoulders the wide receiver 1 in every metric you can imagine. So you will see him go at the 1 at times in these, just like you do in the 6 persons. All right. Dr. Idiot. I've not seen that name. He takes Judkins at the 10. And now we will see. Our friend Go AZ Cards, the first decision of the day. What does he do? He takes Rachaad White. So Go AZ Cards. I was in a draft last night from the 12 hole, and I joined when it was like waiting for 10, and I didn't get the notification it started, and so I autoed, and it went Judkins Kyron, which was fine, but I really wanted a Rachaad White team, so I was like kind of tilted that it didn't go off. So I like the Rachaad White click. I think by the time this closes, I thought I was going to see Rachaad White in the first round. His ADP stuck around 14. I think it was closer to 16 earlier, so it's like crept up a hair. But I think you're going to see White in the first round, like more and more as things go on. Jordan says Dr. Idiot is an elite underdog. It's a great underdog handler, Dr. Idiot. All right. It's like you Go AZ Cards. You're between Dr. Idiot and Mikey Genius. It's like this does feel like a off-brand Pinky in the Brain. If you went to one of those like unlicensed theme parks and you want a doll, it would be Dr. Idiot and Mikey Genius, and it would be a couple of mice. Obvious Pinky in the Brain ripoff. But so Mikey Genius here, aka the Brain, he takes Chase and Adam. So he goes wide receiver. Let's see what our hero Go AZ Cards does. He takes Georgia Pickens there. So he goes White Pickens, choosing not to go White Igbuka. We've seen some people overstack Tampa from this side of the board. I don't mind the overstack. I kind of like it. Igbuka goes next to Judkins, but you do then have a lot of eggs in the Tampa basket. We'll see what Patrick Barnes YouTube is going to use the whole clock to take Rico Dowdle. Oh, he didn't use the whole clock, at least. That was nice of him. So we've got Genty. Tet just feels slightly overpriced, but I don't think I want to say no to Tet. I do like Jalen Waddle. Dallas's secondary is so bad, but Waddle's the only game in town. Let's go Waddle. Let's live a little. Let's live our truth. Let's see what we can get over here. We'll take Jalen Waddle. Definitely Tet McMillan. Well, hopefully Methol. If I don't get there with Tet McMillan, maybe Methol. Oh, he gets Javonte Tet. So Methology, please, if you get to Kansas City because of my poor drafting, just get me a free drink at the bar, if you would. Thank you, Methology. Yeah, but I don't know. This is kind of fertile ground for constructing some of the Herbert stuff. I could probably get one of, if I wanted to do a mini game stack. Keenan Allen's usually available here, so this kind of leaves me open just a little bit. Though I do like McMillan. I'm wondering if Coker comes back, if that's like ultimately better for McMillan because Coker's a very good player, could help open things up for him. I don't think Leggett was doing a ton of favors. This Dallas-Carolina game is kind of a potentially fun game environment. But I feel like without Hill, Waddle really is kind of what makes the whole thing go in Miami. So we'll take Waddle there. I think that's fine. Chris says, streaming doesn't help your EV until you're playing with site credit. Yeah, I mean, I would 100% ready to sell out and become a site credit bro. But you know what? We're not quite there yet. We're not quite there. Which reminds me, it's been 105 minutes. I'm the worst streamer on the internet. You all already knew that. However, I never say to like and subscribe until it's been over an hour. If you can, please like and subscribe. We're on the road to 300 subs. We're almost at 250. Last I checked, we were getting close. Would just love to hit that magic 250 number, get up to 300 by the end of the season. That would be fantastic. But yeah, do appreciate all of you. Appreciate all of the support. You know what? I don't think I have. Yeah. See, I even, I didn't even have the chat on subs only. You know what? So we gotta crack down on the freeloaders here. Go AZ Cards. Kyron Judkins is not bad. No, and in a vacuum, it was fine. I was just like, I only have a few drafts left that I'm doing, and I wanted a Rashad White team. What was the issue? Terrence says, Pinky in the Brain shout out. I think you mentioned Darkwing Duck a while back. We are brothers. You know it, Terrence. You know it. If you want musty references from the 90s, this is the channel for you. Chris Burkle streaming. Oh, I already read that. Go Easy Cards. Nice getting unique when you've already punched your ticket. Well, we are grinding just as hard. We are grinding just as hard here for all of the people here. So Ken Walker goes. Herbert went kind of early here. We see him go at 26. So scratch that. Hope of the mini game stack. Scratch the mini game stack there. Michael Carter goes. I mean, I say scratch the mini game stack. I mean, with the quarterback. Let's take Keenan here. We're now in like unstacked territory. We're now in take Drake May and clench and hope that Hunter Henry comes around. That's something that you people do in this part of the draft. I do like mixing in the various Charger pieces. I think I'm fine trying that. So let's get Waddle into Keenan Allen into the fold, and we're just gonna have to figure out what we want to do at quarterback. Yeah, Darkwing Duck. Haven't heard that in a minute. It is. Darkwing Duck was kind of in that like second tier when it was out. I don't think it was ever like super popular, but it definitely had its fan base. But yeah, it doesn't get brought up as much as it should for being a fantastic program here. All right, we'll pull the board up so you can see what the smarter folks are doing. Mythology. He takes Michael Carter. I haven't gotten to much Michael Carter, and I probably should. It just feels really weird. He just feels kind of out of place here at pick 31. But certainly a more than reasonable click. So don't mind the Michael Carter shout whatsoever. Obviously, DeMarcado famously chewed out on the sideline. Benson's on IR. Connor done for the year. Michael Carter got the lion's share. I think DeMarcado's fumble kind of overshadowed how much work Michael Carter got, and was fairly effective in so doing. So, we don't mind that pick whatsoever. All right, let's see. So go AZ Cards. He adds Michael Pittman to the crew. So he's got Rashad White, George Pickens, and Michael Pittman. We'll see what the brain does after taking unstacked Dak over there. I wonder if Go AZ Cards was hoping to take Dak there or not. Be curious to see. He takes MHJ, so loads up on wide receiver, says forget the late running backs. I am not interested. Let's see what Dr. Idiot does. Great username. Waller goes. That's, I was actually, my plan now that it can't happen, I was going to take Waller and then make this a Tua team, a Tua double stack. That's now out the window. I'm thinking, guys, as you can tell. All right, I'll be the unstacked Drake May, bro. I'll be the unstacked Drake May, bro. I'm not 100% sure where else I was going to go. I had a few ideas. I did think of taking Jacoby and then doing an overstacked Vegas team, but I've already done that and I don't really love it that much. Yeah, that was kind of my other plan. And then, I could have taken Calvin Ridley there as like a bring back and then 3 wide receivers, but I think we're going to just keep it open, keep a little open-minded as far as the where things go. But yeah, we did not end up with the Henry May combo. We're going unstacked May. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there. Again, I would have liked to do the Waller bit and then taken Tua here at pick 65 and then had, Waddle, Waller, Tua, but that did not come to fruition. That's okay. I don't really love Waller's matchup against the Chargers. I think it's going to be pretty tough. I think they're pretty strong versus the tight ends generally. So I was not seeking that out. This was going to be my first and only iteration of that, but we went a different direction. Jake says, was just scrolling for my RB2 in a BR and the clock was winding. I panic picked Hassan Haskins. Oh, in a 6-person BR, Jake. That feels very thin. It doesn't feel like you can't do it though. I mean, I've definitely taken Haskins in some of these 12-persons, but yeah, I hear you. Sometimes we get down on the clock and it's the pressure mounts. All right, Travion goes there to Baby J. So let's see what the friends and family are doing. So Baby J, he goes Puka, Lad, Kraft, Golden. Oh man, Baby J, why did this guy take Stafford from you? Terrible stuff. He takes Stafford. I mean, opposite Henry, sure. If you want to, be big brained, I guess you could do that. But Baby J, that's. Oh wait, why did I think you had? I misread your team, Baby J. I thought you had Devontae. I saw Lad, and I don't know why my brain said you had Puka, Devontae. So that's why I thought you wanted Stafford. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Puka, Lad, Kraft, Golden, and Henderson. I would have taken Ramondre there, and I would have liked Ramondre Drake May, but I can't have nice things. That's fine. That's fine. We toil, we toil in the mines of Moria for everyone else while getting nothing for ourselves. But no, I like the Ramondre click anyway, and I would have liked Ramondre May a little bit instead. I think we just keep buying this Chase Brown Dipperino. This is probably going to suck, but we're going to try. So we'll take Chase Brown on this here team, and then we'll see what the room wants to hand to us. Homie, don't play that. Oh my God, go easy cards. I feel like I remember the catchphrase, but not even like what it was originally from. Jake says playing the Michigan narrative. Yeah, I mean, that works with Harbaugh more often than not. That was for Terrence. There's always a narrative. I was always partial to the Animaniacs. Yep. If you want to get a theme song stuck in my head, you've succeeded, Chris. Thank you for reminding me of the Animaniacs there. Chad out there with the morning puff pass brain about who drafted. Yeah, Mike, I don't know what happened. I think I saw the blue. I think if you really want to get into the mind of Chad, which you probably don't, I think I saw the blue jersey, and then I knew he had Puka, so then like my brain was like, Puka Adams, and Adams is like when I picked 13, literally couldn't have gone further away. I like the team you got there. Let's see what Mathology did. He took Juwan Jennings. I mean, Juwan Jennings at pick 55 is going to seem like Jen Wealth if he's playing no restrictions. So like the Jennings pick, obviously opposite Baker. He needs a tight end. We'll see who Mathology takes late over there. Go AZ Cards takes Cade Otton. So stacking up the Tampa side without Baker. I feel like I haven't seen Cade Otton get drafted a lot. So to me, that Go AZ Cards, you've got an interesting pick. Tieran says, did you catch any baseball? Happened with Orion and the Phillies sounded like picking Hassan Hatkins. I saw there was an errant throw home, Terrence. I did not watch any of the baseball last night. In Living Color. Gotcha. I remember In Living Color was on after Whose Line Is in It anyway. I think that I did religiously watch growing up, which is responsible for my bad sense of humor. All right, so do we want Taysom? I have not taken a Taysom Hill team, but by gum, if we're ever going to do it, maybe it does make sense opposite Drake May. So being that Dr. Idiot and Patrick Barnes, you two, neither can take Taysom, I can proudly announce that that's who we're taking here. So we'll take a Taysom team. Why not? First Taysom team of the Dog Bowl. This team ends up being Drake May, Ashton Genty, Chase Brown, Jalen Waddle, Keenan Allen, and Taysom Hill. I like this team. I think this team came out just fine. Go AZ Cards. He does take Kyler. So either he's going to get Kyler and MHJ, or he is going to get a QB swap, Yeah, you did get your interesting tag back. Go AZ Cards. I got to give it to you. Mathology, he takes Broccoli Bowers. I think Broccoli Bowers is pretty clearly trending towards not playing this week, but obviously if you see Mathology, this is why this guy, look at this. Everybody after him is taking him at tight end. Everyone after. So why not take Brock Bowers? Truly. I don't say that facetiously. So now he can set his ranks and be more deliberate about who he gets, because it doesn't matter. And if Brock Bowers does play for some reason, you just got 6th round pick Brock Bowers. You got 5th round pick Juwan Jennings. I mean, literal generational wealth spots if those guys are suiting up. So Mathology, again, pay attention to what these people are doing. He pays attention to the board, lets him play the Q-tag game sort of with the ultimate prize of the guy we were drafting as the tight end 1 all season. So his team is Javonte, Tet, Michael Carter, Baker, Jennings, and Bowers. Let's see how Baby J lands the plane here. Tieran Charles reminding us of the Animaniacs episode, I Have to Potty, all-time classic. I cannot say I remember the specific episodes well enough. And Baby J takes Tua. Oh, he has Lad. Okay. I thought it was just random ass Tua, which I'm like, hey man, live your truth. But it was not. It was a Tua opposite Lad. So makes sense projecting the game environment to go off, and Tua could potentially spread the ball a little bit and get you home. Well, that was fun. That was a fun team. All right, that was a fun draft. I really appreciate that one. I think this was a good one. It demonstrated some good points on the Q tags and being aware of the board generally there in action. Let's hop into a main BR. All right, waiting for 3. Let me get the time stamp going. 1:18:24. All right. Oh man. All right. So now we got Crutches in the room. Crutches, one of the sharper drafters on this website. Chris asking anyone for Dexter's Laboratory. Another classic. That one I like. I feel like I didn't watch that much, but I was aware of. Screen time was at a premium growing up, so I don't know if that one made the cut. I grew up with the Andy Griffith Show and the Beverly Hillbillies. I remember Ellie Mae in her 2-piece by the cement pond caused some controversy. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, it is funny the things that that used to. I want to say it was This was a trivia question. Like, what was the first show on TV to show like two people in bed together? And I think the answer was the Flintstones. I think it was Fred and Wilma. I think that's the answer. And I think that was controversial, but maybe I'm mistaken. Anyway, it was like of that era, and it was like oh my god, like, you know, we've our morals. And now, you know, now all bets are off. All bets are off here. All right, let's take Josh Jacobs at the 4. We see Crutches takes Puka. We're not breaking any new ground here. Chris noting that Steven is not wrong. Are you old too, Chris? We're finding out that we are a channel of dust balls here. Halloween themes. Anyone watch Tales of the Crypt? Absolutely. Absolutely. Go AZ Cards. Ellie Mae was Daisy Duke before Daisy Duke. Chris, this was before my time. I'm going to confess here. I'm not sure who we're now we're making Jane Fonda reference. Oh my god, we've gone off the rails. Where is Kevin? Where is Kevin? I'm 52. I am 52, says Chris. So that makes sense. The timing is lining up here because these things are before 75. 75, says Steven. All right, well, I appreciate anyone hanging out, regardless of what shows they grew up with. I'm glad you're here hanging out in the channel, and we can all get along, and we can all draft Emeka Egbuka and Josh Jacobs together. What do you expect with Wake Up Best Ball at 6:30? That's fair. That's fair. Next, you know, we're gonna rebrand to the Best Ball Blue Light Special, and we'll do a dinner show at 4 p.m. Maybe that's the next thing. That's the next evolution of the channel. Go AZ Cards. We'll see what we come up with here. But let's check in on Crutches. Crutches Sharp Drafter. He says, I don't need early running backs. I know more about football than you apes. We got Puka. We got George Pickens. Let's see where he takes it. We're going to keep an eye on Crutches, see who his late running back scrolls are. We got Jacobs and Egbuka ourselves. If Crutches doesn't take, I think even if Crutches takes a tight end, I'm probably okay pushing it. Although I don't really think I want Kraft and Jacobs, so we'll have to see where he goes. I also might just take Uncle Rico Dowdle. Because, well, all right, so Crutches takes Warren. Only one running back can go after me, and I think I'm okay with Dowdle or White. I like Ferguson the most. I think I like Ferguson more than McBride. So let's take Fergie. So we got Jacobs, Egbuka, Fergie. Then we will get one of Dowdle or White. I guess we don't really want White with Egbuka. If we do end up with White, then maybe we make this a Baker team and we overstack it. So we'll see. We'll see what comes around. We'll see what comes around. Offsuit. Hey, first of all, Offsuit, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Rocco's Modern Wife and Angry Beavers. Yeah, Rocco's Modern Wife. Weird show. But yeah. It was a weird era. Rocco's Modern Wife is weird. Ren and Stimpy, really weird. Now, that was a little bit before my time. I think I was too young. I was not supposed to be watching Ren and Stimpy. But man, those cartoons were messed up. Chris says 4 p.m. You want me to watch YouTube at bedtime? Good stuff. Is Chuba out or playing? I am pretty sure he's out. I'm pretty sure he's out. If he's not, I've got some problems. He missed practice again yesterday. I feel like he's trending the wrong way. But if he does play, I'm screwed because I have not taken any Chuba anywhere. If he plays, then we should be clicking him in the last round of dog bowls every time. But I don't even think I see him go because you can do the Q tag thing with him. But people don't really want to do that. Go AZ Cards. Anyone else like starting a bar, brewery, crawl right when they open? Yeah. If the staff is not wiping down tables when you're walking in, like you're there too early. That's what they say. All right. So we've got Jacobs, Dowdle, Egbuka, and Ferguson. Jalen Warren goes. Jalen Warren. Who does Baby J have? I feel like I want Waddle. All right, let's do Waddle. I don't think Baby J would take Baker, but we'll see. Oh, Drake May's already gone, so he could. He could. I actually thought he would take May. So we'll see. If we don't get Baker, that's fine. We'll go another direction. Baby J takes Lad. Let's see what he does. He takes Jordan Love. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Sweet. Okay. Well, Baby J. Oh, Baby J's in the chat. Well, Baby J, thank you, Jordan, for not. Yeah, you got sniped on May. I was thinking that you would take May, and then I looked at the board, and May wasn't there. We'll just take Baker here. So we got Baker, Jacobs, Dowdle, Egbuka, Waddle, and Ferguson. Yeah, I like this team. I think this team came out pretty good. Let's check in on the friends and family. Baby J goes A-Chain, Genty, Kraft, and then Diggs, Lad, and Love. I like that. Crutches. What does he do? So after going Puka, Pickens, he goes Warren, and then Rashad White, another Warren. So he goes Tyler and Jalen Warren, and then takes Matt Stafford. That makes a certain amount of sense. I think I'm lower than Warren on the market, but seeing the Crutches taking him in the 6th person, maybe I should reconsider that. So he takes Jalen Warren there. He gets Puka and Stafford. I think that makes a ton of sense. Go Easy Cards, does it have to be 11? I think I missed something there. Sorry, Go Easy Cards. I think the I'm a little behind in chat, and then I missed where that fit in. I like to think McBride with the backup quarterback, they lock into their best player. I'm in for the next week. Yeah, I mean, Kyler has been bad, so we'll see. I don't know if I disagree. I think I don't know how big a downgrade it is, and it could honestly be an upgrade. Then I'm out till further notice. Yeah, Kyler, man, all the talent in the world, and just not really translating. Not really translating. All right. Do people want to see any of the primetime stuff, or is this mostly just BR? Because let me see what the primetime slate. So the primetime hurry up. Let's see. Let's hop in and okay. So what are the games? We got Atlanta, Buffalo, Denver, Kansas City, and Detroit, Kansas City, and Chicago, Washington. This is actually a really fun slate, so I'm going to do one of these. I haven't done any yet, so apologies if my team sucks, because I'm learning along with you. If anyone wants to hop in, this is a primetime hurry up. This is a primetime hurry up. Let me do the timestamp. Again, appreciate all your support. Let me know what you like or what you don't like, because I do need the feedback. I'd like to see what people want to see. We're trying to grow the channel. I want to know what's working, what's not, and yeah, primetime hurry up. My hunch is most people want to see dog bowls and the main BRs, but these contests are fun too. Mike Rob, have you explained to the wife yet the part of the dog bowl experience is that both you and Go AZ Cards have to feed each other barbecue while you draft a Wildcat team? I have not closely read the email from Underdog, but I'm gonna have to read it again and see where in the terms and conditions that was. Go AZ Cards, I don't know if that's something that you were made aware of. Go AZ Cards says, as a Cards fan, when the backup QB is in, the full playbook is open. The QB can throw quick slants over the middle if they're tall enough to do it. Just the shots. Yeah, Taryn says that doesn't sound good. I hear you there. I explained to my wife what the weekend agenda will be. She replied, take your brother. Oh, man. Jake says, my home survivor league went from 27 to 22 last night. It might be my year. Yeah, no, many such cases. But again, strikes again. The old adage, and it's an old survivor adage from back in the day, but I have lived by it, and it has served me well. Don't take division road teams on Thursdays. Division games themselves can be weird. Thursday games can be weird. You are opening yourself up to disaster. These short weeks are their own beast, and that stinks. Mike Rob C. Go AZ is on chat. I can't type. Don't worry, I got you. Go AZ Cards. We're all good here. All right, so we're at the 2. We are at the 2. Gibbs against Kansas City or Cook at Atlanta. Or do we take, Amon-Ra? He said this wrist injury has been with him for a while. Or you could even take Josh Allen. But I think quarterback is fun this week. You got Allen, Mahomes, and then Goff, Caleb, Penix. This is a cool a short slate. I might not win anything, but it is going to be I think it's going to be kind of fun. So let's take James Cook. Coming off a down week. Let's live a little. Let's take James Cook and then see where the skies take us here. So we'll take Cook. Bijan goes. We got Dom Money here. Mike, good to see you in here. He gets the one pick of ADP value. Next thing to check is tight end. We got Kelsey, Kincaid, Laporta, Pitts, and then Ertz. Loveland with the Q tag, although I think he got some coach speak saying he was going to be healthy. Unclear. This does mean if someone goes double tight end, someone ends up with Zach Ertz. I think that's fine. They said that Zach Ertz had not been held without a catch since 2017 or something, crazy. Last week, very unusual for him to get 0 catches. Let's see what Money does here. He takes Josh Allen. I'm gonna do Krosky Merritt. Let's do Bill. Let's go running back here. It was tempting to take Odunze, but even if Holden the Rock takes two receivers, we will get at least one of Odunze, Debo, and Worthy here. Almost took Odunze, but I think Krosky Merritt's a little bit of a tier break just from what I see. After him, it's now Monty, Swift, and then the cavalcade of Chiefs guys. So Holden the Rock takes. We'll just stick with ADP and take Worthy here. I hope he plays. If he doesn't play, then this stinks. And it's been an hour and 31 minutes. So first of all, let me ask for you all if you can like and sub. Secondly, I gotta blow my nose. Should not surprise anybody at this point. So I'm actually gonna mute it. Give me a second. So bad. It's so bad having this cold. It's so bad. I hate everything. I hate having a cold, but we're finally good. And now we're on the clock. I think it's galaxy brain to take Mahomes with Worthy over just taking Jaden Daniels. So we'll take Jaden Daniels here. I'm glad that Terrence agrees. Cook at Atlanta easily. Yeah, I feel like I agree there. Lou Dog, GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in. Noting that Bill at 7, we have come so far. I mean, it could be the year of the slappy. It could be our year, Lou Dog. But yeah, it's crazy to see one of their other running backs. I think Chris Rodriguez was injured. He showed up on the injury report. Yeah, calf injury Thursday, DNP. I mean, if it's just Krosky Merritt and McWeapon, it's probably going to be the Krosky Merritt show. All right, let's see. Everyone here is taking a tight end, so I'm going to. All right, let's take DJ Moore. Has not done much this year. I'm not that excited about Shakir. I think Keon Coleman's kind of fun. But let's take a crack on a DJ Moore resurgence. We did not scroll. We did not dig into the depths. We did not do anything you're supposed to do to win a primetime contest. We have absolutely stone zero scrolls. This team could be duped, but we're just gonna hope it's not. We're gonna hope it's not. Greg says +3 for a 3Q if anyone's interested. Yeah, help our man Greg fill the third quarter contest if you guys want to hop in there. If the draft did not take 40 minutes, I would join you and I would do one, but I think that's a little bit long, and I don't know if people are like super into that contest. I think people are kind of mad that Resurrection didn't come back and we got the quarters contest. I like the concept of the quarters contest. I'm just like, it's so hard to go from 6-person 6-round drafts to 12-person 18-round drafts. They just feel really long. So unfortunately, did Big Lou? Yeah, Big Jerk Lou took 2 tight ends. So we end up with Ertz. But you know what? We do have Jaden Daniels. So now we just have Daniels, Krosky, Merritt, and Ertz. So maybe Ertz, Big Lou unintentionally, pushed us into mini scroll territory, into a guy who's not going to be 100% owned. I actually really like this team. Daniels, Cook, Krosky, Merritt, Worthy, Moore, and Ertz. I mean, what more could a man want? It'd be greedy to ask for anything. Let's check on Dom Money. What did he do? Oh, he also went double elite tight end. I mean, my God, people, how greedy are we? You poor Holden got Noah Gray. Big yikes. So Dom Money, let's see what he did. Mike, he goes, Gibbs, Allen, JMO, Kincaid, Thornton, and Pitts. Yep, I like that team. I think that team is pretty cool. So also, thanks for taking Pitts, because it totally screwed this Holden guy, which is kind of funny because we don't know who he is. All right, let's see. Greg trying to sneak in a draft before a meeting. Brother, if you're trying to sneak in a draft, I don't know if the 3Q draft, which A, takes a while to fill and B, takes forever to do, is the one to sneak in before your meeting. But it is Friday. So anything goes there. Greg says, I love advance rate. You can sneak some things true if you get some pod luck. Yeah, no, it's a contest to where if I had infinite time, I would love to devote the time to it. But unfortunately, I have too many other life obligations to to do that one seriously. Chris says, next week we get Rashi back. Oh my God. The Rashi Rice people are rapidly turning into some of the most annoying people on the internet. They are acting like they have won the jackpot. Like all of a sudden, all of their teams are going to win everything. I'm not saying you, Chris, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I say this as the biggest worthy bag holder. The injury has sucked. He's been a little up and down. Seeing Thornton getting so much is so tilting, because like that really should have been Worthy's, but I don't know. I feel like the Rice victory lapping when he hasn't stepped foot on the field coming off of a major knee injury is just the victory lapping is wild, is absolutely wild. So we'll see. And it's annoying. You know why it's annoying? I'll tell you why. Because I don't have any. I have none in BBM. so I'm tilting. Very long story short is I was in the worried about the knee. Then the knee stuff came healthy. Then the suspension stuff was like, well, what if he's suspended for the playoffs? And he was going pretty late then. I should have been buying him then. And then when it was like, no, he's just going to be suspended for 6 games, I should have been buying, but I had already done 80% of my drafts. So I'm like, what is 4% Rashi Rice going to do for me? So I just said, screw it. I'm just going to keep the fade up. Very bad process. Don't do what I did. But that's what happened. Mike Robb says, I feel like if Underdog announced earlier that the quarters competitions were taking for Resurrection would have led to less anger and probably more people jumping in. Yeah, no, I agree. I think every day I see people asking when's Resurrection coming, and it's not coming. I mean, unless they want to do it on Halloween. How cool would that be? They launch it on Halloween and it's like, Resurrection. I don't know why it'd be a vampire. That's not even the same. Those don't really get resurrected. But anyway, Terrence says that looks like a winner. Hey, thanks, Terrence. Appreciate you. Chris says over under 13 Underdog points for Rashi next week. I'm going to say under. I'm going to say under because I'm just a hater. It's probably over. He's probably going to have 81 yard, 9 for 81 and a touchdown. And I'm just going to get shoved in a locker again. But it's okay. It's all right. All right. Let's see. What do we want to do? All right. Maybe we try. Let's see what the dog bowl's at. If we do a dog bowl, we'll do that. And then we'll do 1 BR and get out of here. We're waiting for 4. I don't know if I want to sit here and wait or not. I am waiting for 3. All right. Well, we'll do one final dog bowl. And I'll probably try to do one more draft after that. and then get out of here. So 139 DBQ3. All right. So if anyone wants to come in and bum hunt away. What will 150 share of Taekwondo do for someone? Yeah. Many people are asking. Love the hate. No, it's not. Hatred's not the wrong word. I don't hate him. I just I played it wrong and I'm lashing out. I should have gotten some when the suspension stuff cleared up, and I didn't, and that's on me, but we'll see what happens. But the people who have Rice are acting like they got, this unbelievable player in this insane role, and we'll see what we get. It might be if after 2 weeks he has scored 18 and 24 underdog points, I will fully capitulate. But for right now, there's like a lot of victory lapping for someone who has not stepped on a field yet. Go Easy Cards, take Dak first round. Yeah, definitely. I don't want to end up on Underdog's list. I don't know if I know I've mentioned this on the stream months ago, but I did one of those golf like scramble, whatever the like year-long golf tournament is when it opened, and the ADPs were all jacked up. So what I did was I went and star methoded all these scroll down golfers, and because I didn't do it. I don't know why. I don't know why I did it like this. Anyway, I did that, but the draft was like waiting for a bunch of people. I forgot that the draft launched, and I joined in like round 8, and I have taken this just god-awful team, and the draft got canceled. So I was like, that was me, guys. I was not trying to throw the draft. I'm just an idiot. So Taylor Jake, okay, I'll take CMC at 3. It seems good. So anyway, I got a draft canceled. Fully admit it. I was not trying to throw the draft. I was not trying to collude. I just effed up. So I hope Underdog is not, I hope I'm not on their naughty list for anything, because I did have that happen once. So it does happen sometimes. There are innocent explanations for someone doing something, but it was a pretty funny list. I wish I remembered exactly who I was taking, but it was the draft was thrown out on the first day of the contest. Jake noting he's never scored 24 underdog points. Yeah, that's because Mahomes like submarined his knee before he could get. It was like well on his way. Mike Robb says, have you been trying to get on the Pete Bash on Thursdays? Would be a great opportunity for people to read a damn Dog Bowl All-Star as a morning show. So I was on the Bash. I was on when he did the I just unplugged my monitor. He did a BBM where he had 6 people on, and we each did 3 rounds. So I was on that one, and that was right before the season started. It was like the last one before the year. So I have not been entering and then the next night, or I think it was the very next night or 2 nights, he had the Guillotine League draft. So I was on that. So I have not been entering to join the Bash, because I'm like, well, I was kind of on it. I was kind of on Pete's channel twice fairly recently. I was thinking I'd probably wait a couple weeks to enter, because I don't want to be that guy who was annoying and on trying to get on all the time. So I have waited. But yeah, I will enter the join the Bash raffles in the coming weeks. I mean, there's no guarantee you win if you roll, but I would have felt like odd being like, didn't you just win? Give other people a chance is what I was thinking. People acting like he averages 20. Well, 20 sounds like the bear case from what I've been hearing from the Rashi Rice people. Rashi Rice. Yeah. Well, yeah, in your fantasy, GTA league, he'd probably go pretty high. That's how I found it, Rob. Were you? From being on the Bash? Well, appreciate you, Lou Dog. Yeah, it was fun being on there. Pete was super nice. I was lucky. I was the last drafter, so I got to hang with Pete for on the chat for a few minutes after the draft ended, which was awesome. So I felt like I kind of got my my chance to talk to the people. But yeah, it's been a few months now, I guess. Mike Robb sent me a link to the show. Hopefully it starts when this one is done. I am funny. Are you talking about when I was on the bash, or I don't know if I missed something, but anyway. All right, we're coming up. We got CMC. We got to lock in. We got CMC at the 3, so we don't want to drop any babies. You know, we've got enough elite tight ends to where I think if we want to take an elite tight end, we could just let the market choose for us. You know, Diggs has been getting steamy. I definitely see the argument that he's kind of overpriced here. Etienne goes. Interesting. I'm also sympathetic to the argument that Warren is just like better than all the other options and you should just take him. I'm thinking, as you can tell. I apologize. All right, let's take Steph Diggs. We will kind of go by ADP, a little bit after ADP there, and then see what the Gale and Nez do here. I got that. Go AZ. Yeah. All right. Awesome. All right. So the Gale takes Ferg. Let's see what Nez does here. I could take Drake May if Nez doesn't take Drake May, or Nez and the Gale don't take Drake May. Could potentially build that stack on this side of the board. Nez takes Warren, which makes sense. I do feel like Warren is kind of like the best of that tier. But I think there's enough scrolly tight ends to where I don't necessarily need to take Kraft or McBride here. Nez takes Ladd. That also makes me feel good about taking Ladd over QJ. All right, talk to me, Goose. What am I doing here? Let's do Drake. Let's do Drake May. Let's have confidence in our scrolls. I feel like I always see Drake May over here. I don't know if I see him with Diggs all the time. So let's try to build a McCaffrey Diggs May team. I think this is going to be kind of rare. I think this is going to be hard to get. So let's just lock up a stack with CMC and figure we'll figure tight end out later. I'm not too opposed to some of the scrolly options there. Go Easy Cards. I am rooting for Mr. Candles to not only take down the Badge Bros Sprawl, to have multiple top 10 teams break the slate. I played it like that was the goal, Go Easy Cards. I said, if Scatabo's who you need, I'm going to win the Badge Bros Brawl, and I'm going to bring 10 teams to the finals. So that was the goal. We'll see what happens. Right now, I'm advancing a lot of teams in it. But also, I mean, you know, I had a guy I own 89% of the times on the Thursday game. So we'll see where we end up. And I also did a ton of double elite quarterbacks. So I think I have like 44% Jalen Hurts or something crazy like that. Let me see. I'm curious. If we go to the Badge Bros Brawl, exposures. Can you not do it? Is it not in here? Oh, interesting. On his tournament exposures page, you can't. Oh, I guess I could do it this way. All right, I got the board up so people can see what's going on. We'll go over everyone's team in a second here. I just want to see how many Jalen Hurts teams I have, because he played as well. Yeah, I have 58 Jalen Hurts teams in the Badge Bros Brawl. If I switch over here for a hot second. So I did a ton of double elite QB. So I have a boatload of Hurts teams, and he played also. So between having that much Hurts and having that much Scatabo, we've got, 107 Scatabo teams. So between that, like, we're obviously going to be advancing a stupid amount of teams, 68 teams of 120. But all right, let's go back to let's lock back in here. So we've got CMC, Diggs, and McCaffrey. Let's see what Nez is doing. Nez has gone JT, Warren, Ladd. So he's building out a big bet on the Colts. I like that. Going JT, Warren. Again, I don't love doing this in the 6-person main BR. Absolutely love doing this in the dog bowl. Very different competitions, should be played differently. And we're seeing that there from Nez. But it really makes me feel good he's taking Lad over QJ, because I've been playing it that week too. So if Nez is doing it, I'm glad to be doing the same thing. Let's see, anyone else? The Gale's in here too. He's got Jacobs, Fergie, and Dak. So he builds the Fergie Dak stack here with Jacobs. I mean, simply cannot say anything bad about that. Like that's good. That's actually my seat last week was a Fergie Dak stack. So there you go here. Hey, AZ Mountain Man, GM just found the channel. See you in the streets everywhere. Thanks for the early morning content. Hey, AZ Mountain Man. No, thank you so much for coming in, hanging out for the appreciate the support. And glad you found us here. How did you find us? Was it the algo? I'm curious, if you don't mind me asking. But thank you so much for coming in. As an Arizona Mountain Man, I wonder if you also, are a ASU fan and by extension a Scatabo believer. But you're welcome regardless. We even the Tracy people are welcome here in the channel. Mike Robb said, so with the dog bowl, what's your goal now? Do you feel like extra seats will help, or do you just draft to keep your skills sharp? Good question. Let me see make my pick. I mean, if I get Hunter Henry, my God, if these people don't go double tight end, I mean, this guy can't take a second tight end. I don't think Buster Boys would, but you never know. People can do what they want. And then I might even be able to, people aren't going to go double tight end. Sorry, I was not expecting to be in this position, but I feel like I'm in a really good spot here to potentially overstack New England, which I'm kind of into. So Buster Boys takes Ramondre. That's a little unlucky because I was thinking of taking Ramondre there. Now my question is, do I want to do Chase Brown, or do I want to take a really scrolly receiver? I think I'd rather go back to the Jacoby Myers well here. He's going to just project so gosh darn well. I don't think the Gale or Nez are going to do double tight end. I'm 99% sure Nez won't, because I think he's just adamantly opposed to that. So we should be able to get a Drake May, Hunter Henry team here, which would be kind of fun. So let's see what we get here. But going back to this, Mike, I like the thought exercise. I think these are so fun. I would love another seat. I think that'd be awesome. I would not say no to that. But I also feel like people like watching them on stream, so I'll just continue to do that for the stream, and I do them off stream too, because again, they're super fun, and getting a second seat would really be cool, because then we've got some chance to actually a better chance to make some noise in the contest. That would be awesome. All right, so let's take Hunter Henry. Well, I don't think there's any reason to not just go Diggs, Henry, May. That seems like a fun start. I'm happy with that. Go easy cards. Extra seats would be great, but the odds are against you. It's just so much fun to draft these. Yeah, I hard agree. There. Justin says Nez should feel good about you. No, that is not true. I do appreciate that, Justin, but no, Nez is absolutely has demonstrated being one of the sharper drafters on the site. He had a team last week where if Tony Pollard does very little more, he had a seat. He's had multiple teams in the top 10 through a few weeks this year. And the difference between getting third like I did and getting 7th or 9th or whatever is fractions of points. Like Nez is I think his, I hope he gets there, because he's very deserving and he's definitely over the target. But no, appreciate you, Justin. I know what you're saying, and it means a lot. Thank you. Wait on Henry, he will come back. I don't know if you meant to pick 70, because that'd be quite the bit. Buster Boys is everywhere at once. Yeah, it would have been interesting. I would have considered taking Ramondre and then just going Diggs, Ramondre, Henry, and May, but I don't know. We'll never know. He's in my 3Q draft as well. I mean, he's everywhere. He is everywhere. Not a Scatterboy, that early morning algo. Okay, no worries. Well, we'll make a Scatterbro out of you yet, AZ Mountain Man, but appreciate you. Will Scatterbo be in the top 2 rounds of BBM next year? I mean, if barring injury, probably, right? I mean, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of like the comp of who we were taking this year, where that would be. And now, like, if we're just going to project Dart to be what he is next year, like if we think that offense is really good, then I would be shocked if he wasn't in the second round for that. People saying no. Brian Hughes, first of all, thanks for coming in. Saying you know, go easy cards, comping him to Bucky. Yeah, I was kind of in like Bucky, Chase Brownie kind of range, but Brian, thanks for coming in. But first thing he comes and says, "You know," I like to think you've been lurking, like you've been watching this channel for months, and you were finally just like had enough of the Scatterbo talk. You're like, God damn it, these guys are nuts. But thanks for coming in. I'm so bummed I won't get to enjoy Skat until 2027. Well, why don't you do your 3Q contest? He doesn't have a bye till week 17. You should just be windmilling in, and then you can just enjoy all the Scatterbo. Mike says, if Scatterbo wins BBM or a big contest this year, Scatterbo will be pushed up close to round 2, but probably 3, 4. Second round Scat, easiest fade of all time. Well, I mean, we are so far from that. We're so far from that. I mean, so many things could change. You know, Tracy coming off the shoulder, maybe he sees a little more work, although I don't know if I even believe that's true. I mean, I could see them wanting to cut back some of Scatterbo's work to try to keep him a little bit fresh. You know, he plays so hard, like obviously injuries, like all these things. So we will see. We will see what ends up happening. We're going to be coming up on the clock, though. Man, Travion Henderson. I have not taken Travion Henderson. I don't know if I want to start now. I almost feel like I would rather do Bourne or Ridley than Travion here. So let's see. Let's see what happens. We're coming up. I will catch back up with chat. I see you guys. I feel like this is a pretty fun little team. Ridley goes. Let's see what Buster's Boys does. Let's see what he does. I have someone I want. I mean, we could obviously take Shaheed opposite New England and do like a big game stack there. He takes Tony Pollard. I think I'm actually going to take Kendre. We're going to take the shot on Kendre. He just seems so much more alive than Kamara. I know Kamara returned. He had a limited practice, but I almost feel like this, you know, I see the Shaheed argument, but let's try to build something that, you know, a little bit different. And so we'll do a Kendre team. We'll do a Kendre team. So we got Drake May, CMC, Kendre Miller, Steph Diggs, Jacoby Myers, Hunter Henry. I like this team. I like that we were able to build this stack. You know, if we get some kind of Kamara setback, he will, you know, hopefully Kendre keeps up and makes this game environment one we wish to be targeting. So let's see. Chris noting that the easiest fade of all time was first round Kelsey. Yeah. I'm trying to think back to the environment. David Russell says JT was going late second. Cook / Kyron 3 to 5 too early to give Skat a second. Otherwise, we haven't learned anything. Well, I mean, a second year running back. It's not like, you know, not like an aging dead zone-y guy. We'll see. It's I mean, I guess it's so early. But David, first of all, thanks for coming in, hanging out. second might be getting out over our skis, but I don't know. But he's definitely going to be getting hyped if he's continues to be this good. Let's see what go AZ Cards noting. Start the stream with Scatabo Talk. You got the candles. Yeah, this is a quintessential candles channel here. We got Nez going, Jonathan Taylor, Tyler Warren, Lad McConkey, Chris Olave, Bryce Young unstacked against Dallas, and then it was unstacked until my man takes Bryce Young, pick 49, sneaks him in, and then gets his guy, Jalen Coker. Jalen Coker not drafted 100% of the time, big time target earner. I apparently practiced without restriction, so if he's fully back, I mean, you're going to get a low-owned guy against a terrible pass defense in Dallas. Yep, I mean, I like that. So Jalen Coker live as a late-round click. Let's see what the Gale did. Jacobs, Fergie, Dak, and then Dobbs, Golden, and Bourne. So getting Dobbs and Golden here, and Jacobs. So overstacking Green Bay, says Green Bay absolutely smashes. And then so, 2 Cowboys, 3 Packers, and then a Kendrick Bourne. Yeah, like the team, the Gale. I think that's kind of cool. So appreciate all of you. Appreciate the draft. All right, let's see. Brian noting he's bound for injury with his running style. Well, it is so hard to project these sorts of things. I don't know, man. I mean, I think injuries are just so random. I mean, guys can get rolled up on, who knows? I don't know if I'm willing to agree with that. If you say he's more likely to get like a head injury, maybe, but I don't know. I don't know if I agree that he's, any kind of like lower body injury or anything like long-term. Not that CTE is not long-term, but that's a whole other debate. I pulled that up before. Miller comeback. Oh, well, you were there. Saw that coming around to go. We'll go AZ Cards. You as a true friend to the channel, you knew what we were lining up there. Justin, Nez does deserve a seat. No, Justin, I know what you're saying. I appreciate it. I totally appreciate it. David said, congrats on the dog bowl seat. Hey, thanks, David. I appreciate you. Appreciate y'all coming in, hanging out. Bourne and Coker will be higher owned with all the swaps. That's the problem. Go AZ Cards. And I ran into that when I took Dowdle. People looked at my team and said, oh, everyone's 100% owned. Well, yeah, but I took Dowdle at pick 72. When I took him, he wasn't 100% owned. He just got swapped into being 100% owned. So, yeah, I agree there. Bourne is probably going to be a high swap. I don't know if I agree that Coker will be a high swap. I don't think, at least in the default ranks, he will be, although I guess most dog bowl people are probably setting some kind of rank. So we definitely could see more Coker, but I don't know. I would be surprised if he got over 50%. Like very surprised there. All right, hold on 1 second here. All right. All right, sweet. Well, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you. I believe Davis just went live, so I will probably call it a stream here. Let me catch up with chat, and then I will sign off. DBQ seat, Scatabo Nuke Week. Go play the Powerball. You know what? I should. Chris, Scatabo is all butt and thighs, crazy athleticism, Mike Allstott Redux. I mean, he is the contact balance, the stuff he runs through. Watch his college tape. It's incredible. Let's be real. Scatabo's baseline test to a concussion probably already the lowest it can. Yeah, it's like how to pass a lie detector test. You just stress yourself out on the things like, is the sky blue? And you're like, yes. And you mess up the machine. Scatabo concussion test. Scatabo is concussion. Go AZ Card. CD drafter want that game. So Coker is an easy swap. Yeah. Agree. Yes. And Chris says, leave a comment after the stream. Absolutely. Appreciate you, Chris, reminding the folks to do that. Everybody, thank you so much. If you can, drop a like, drop a sub, drop a comment on the way out. I will see you all on Monday. Take care.